You've got your sights set on a top MBA program, but your GPA is, let's just say, not where you'd like it to be. So, does that mean that you're out of the running? Not necessarily. Today, we're gonna break down exactly how admissions committees evaluate GPAs, what you can do to compensate for a lower one, and what strategies you can use to still stand out in a competitive applicant pool. Hi, I'm Caitlin Anderson, graduate admissions consultant and Oxford MBA that has helped hundreds of students win interviews and offers to all the top business schools in the world, including Harvard, Stanford, Oxford, MIT, and Yale, and win over $1 million in scholarships. Your GPA is just one factor. Admissions committees don't just look at raw numbers. They consider context. Top schools such as Wharton, Harvard, and Stanford may have average GPAs that are 3.6 to 3.8, but that doesn't mean you need a perfect score to get in. What really matters is trends in your transcript, the rigor of your undergraduate courses, and how you show your academic readiness. For example, a 3.2 GPA in engineering is not the same as a 3.2 GPA in a less rigorous major. So how do you assess your situation? Well, you can ask yourself these 4 questions. First, how low is low? What I mean is your GPA below 3.0 out of 4? Or are you just slightly below the class average GPA? Because those are very different situations. What I normally tell my students is if you are below a 3.0 out of 4 GPA, then somewhere in your application you need to address it. Some applications will have a separate essay question that will ask you about whether you feel that your performance in your undergraduate degree is an accurate indicator of your potential for success on their program. But if they don't have that separate essay question, in the optional essay is where you want to address your GPA. Again, if it's below 3.0 out of 4. If you're above that, then you need to just go forward with confidence and focus on other areas of your application. The second question that you can ask yourself is, did you have an upward trend in your GPA? Admissions committees love to see that improvement. So if in your first couple of semesters as a freshman, you were figuring things out, maybe you came from a different country, so it was a new system, maybe you switched majors and then your GPA started to go up, that is gonna be something that the admissions committees have seen, they expect, and it's appropriate for you to talk about whether your GPA improved in that way. Question number 3 is, did you face any extenuating circumstances, such as illness, family issues, or financial struggles? And if so, you should explain those in the optional essay. And then the 4th question you can ask yourself is, are there any specific weak areas that I need to address? For example, if you're applying to a master's in finance program or master's in business analytics or an MBA that's asking you in the application about the quantitative courses that you've already completed, then that means the admissions committees are gonna look at those courses on your transcript. And if you've got anything below a B, then they're gonna have some concern that you may not be able to handle the academic rigor of their quantitative courses. So that's something that we need to address. So let's talk about how we can overcome a low GPA. So how do you compensate for a low GPA? Well, I'm gonna tell you 4 different strategies you can take. First, crush your GMAT and GRE score. Get an above their class average score and you'll prove that you are ready and capable of handling the courses you'll see in their program. Number 2 is to take additional coursework. Enroll in quantitative or business-related courses through Coursera, Harvard Extension, Berkeley has courses online, and focus on those courses where maybe you didn't get a great grade in your undergraduate degree. And I'll tell you that schools like Wharton and Booth value demonstrating your academic readiness through additional coursework. So it's something to look into. Number 3 is to highlight your work experience and leadership. MBA programs love professional achievements. So if you've led teams or managed budgets or driven impact, that carries weight. Show the admissions committee that your career growth and leadership potential outweigh a lower GPA. Number 4 is to use the optional essay strategically. So you don't want to make excuses, but instead what we do is we explain to them that you experienced a very bad accident, or you had a severe illness, or you had to take care of a very close family member that was very ill, or maybe you focused on your extracurriculars and leadership opportunities so heavily that it started to negatively affect your grades. So you talk about what happened, but you also in the same essay talk about and focus on the grades that you did get that were very high in quantitative courses, hopefully, or in other courses. Or you focus on the upward trend to redirect the attention to what you did do well and what you are capable of, instead of focusing too heavily on what happened and explaining why it went wrong. Now I want to share 3 different success stories from students I've actually worked with that had very low GPAs, but still got into top MBA programs. So the first one I'll tell you about is a student who had a 2.9 GPA. She was able to achieve a 710 GMAT score after a year of work and programs, and she had this excellent entrepreneurial experience and a compelling story that tied very nicely into her entrepreneurial experience. I had another student who got a 2.0 out of 4.0 GPA, and so he did a pre-master's course, and then after that he did 2 master's courses at less prestigious schools before he applied to Cambridge with me, and then he got in. So there were things that he did to overcome this very low undergraduate GPA, but he ended up going to his dream school. Finally, I had a student with a 3.2 out of 4 GPA who tried very hard for a year but couldn't get above a 700 GMAT score, and he was applying to all the top business schools where their averages are 730, 740. But he did actually focus on other parts of his application. He went and got his CFA, and he got promoted at work. And so in the application, when we worked together, we focused on those work accomplishments and the fact that he had very high EQ skills. And so he ended up getting into one of his dream schools, Columbia. A low GPA is a hurdle, not a deal breaker. Admissions committees want to see that you can handle their coursework, but there are plenty of ways to prove that. So if you focus on your strengths and apply strategically, you can land a spot at a top MBA program. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like, subscribe, and comment below if you have any questions about your master's applications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.